2 years today, by the way, Wembley Cup,
Yeah.
which is probably arguably. Would you put that in like your top 5 biggest achievements for your channel?
Oh yeah,
The Wembley Cup.
100%. Wembley Cup as
Yeah.
the overall thing. The last one was probably
Yeah.
the least enjoyable one. But they're all. I mean, that's
Yes.
me being like, I can't complain about that. It's still sick. It's always amazing to play at Wembley.
Oh, it's mad. Yeah.
But yeah, it's either number. It's probably top 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's just between that and hashtag. And the hashtag is more of it's a less mass appeal. But it's more like the thing that I enjoy because it's every day. Whereas Wembley Cup's like a once a year thing. But no, yeah, I mean, it's also a catalyst, like I said about Copper 90, but my channel kicking on then, it was really about the first Wembley Cup. Still my most watched video, the first Wembley Cup, you know, it's just ridiculous.
It's mad, isn't it? Like a lot of people fall in love with the original idea, and then you'll find if you tweak it or change it for maybe entertainment purposes, it's not as good as the first one. And that's what I always found with Palmer's is like, as new players came in, it's like, well, it's not as good as when the originals were there.
Yeah,
so
you,
like,
you can never recreate
sometimes
that.
you just can't. No, you can't. Like, you just have to enjoy it for the moment. So, yeah. Obviously, the last one you sort of mentioned was wasn't the best in terms of, was it an all round thing?
Well, it had a hard
Entertainment
act to follow. I think that's the case. It's like you just said. You just nailed it on the head. Like it's sometimes you've got to make a decision between doing something different or not doing it again because you just can't do it the same way. And that was always the case of the Wembley Cup. I think some people thought we were like innovating for the sake of innovation, like changing. No, there was always a reason we had to get hashtag involved in the third one, for example, because we couldn't get enough. We didn't have the budget to get enough YouTubers to make 2 teams, basically. So we had to get a team to play for free, which was my team. You know, and then the fourth one, we had to do that a lot. We had to innovate a lot. We had to change the whole concept to be a tournament, not a game. We got your team stitched us up. Spurs stitched us up because you were still playing at Wembley. And basically, we had to push the whole thing a few months later, which meant it was like a Sunday instead of a Saturday. And it was like the start of December instead of at the end of the summer when it usually was. So that changed the amount of people that could come to it. It's no one's fault. I mean, there was a bit of drama, as we know about. But other than that, I'm talking more format-based. I'm talking just generally like, the fans didn't get as good bang for their buck, basically. There was less goals because all the games were half an hour long. Wembley let us down a bit there, to be honest, because we were told we could have games, the final could be 60 minutes. That's what we were told, and that was changed last minute. I mean, I'm never going to complain about this. I'm not an idiot. Playing at Wembley is an honour. But if you're comparing it to the other Wembley Cups, it was by far the worst pitch because it had been overused, and not only had been Tottenham, but they had NFL. All the NFL branding was still on the pitch and stuff. I was so lucky that first Wembley Cup, day after the FA Cup final, the groundsman even said to us that you're playing on what we call AAA pitch. Like, this pitch couldn't be in better nick, and it felt it. You know what I mean? It was like a joke, and so that's all the thing. But the beggars can't be choosers. You're in a situation where I can compare it to that. I've played at Wembley 5 times. I shouldn't have got any. I should barely be allowed at the Wembley tube station, let alone on the pitch, mate. So
on the pitch,
I mean, I'll take it.
For me, I mean, I got a hint of drama coming through when I was just watching it live. We had Palmer's in the morning. I came back and I just remember sitting there watching it. And there was obviously certain things that were going on camera, like little hints of things. I was like, oh, that's a bit strange, but I think the thing for me, I think it just didn't. It was too competitive.
Yeah,
I think that's what sort of spoiled it.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's strange because I'm quite a competitive person and I love seeing competition going on, like head to heads. But I feel like because we fell in love with such a really well-made series in the beginning, which was still competitive, but there was a lot of fun involved. You know what I mean? It wasn't as serious as what it eventually become in the last sort of series, and that for me sort of spoiled it. And I was going to touch on this in a video that I was going to do in the future. Nobody knows this yet, but I might as well talk about it. Sunday League, I look back at Palmer's in the beginning when it was just like, it was just a laugh and we was capturing all those moments. But now you're seeing all of these new clubs coming on with semi-professional footballers.
Yeah, it's not Sunday football, is it?
Well, I say it's not Sunday football because it is. Do you know what I mean? Those players are representing those clubs as a Sunday League club, but the players on those pitches are far above the typical Sunday League player. And I feel like, I mean, I'll mention them like SC Dons, and you got Lambeth All Stars, and all these big teams come, like big players with big personalities come into a Sunday League scene. People are getting inspired by that, and it's a great thing. Obviously, getting people into Sunday League, like you know, grassroots. I call that grassroots rather than non-league is grassroots, but grassroots. We're talking Sunday League. like everyone should be playing that if they can. If they love football, get playing it. But I just feel that where it's so competitive and there's so much attitude on the pitch, that would put me off. Whereas
Yeah,
I'd
that's
watch
the
a
problem.
I would watch a Palmer's and say, we're not the best at all, and you can see we're having a laugh as well. And that for me is why I produce the content, not
Yeah.
to. I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. I'll
No,
talk
but
about it in a video.
what
I reckon,
I
but
think you're saying is when I say it's not Sunday football, what I mean by that is these players are all Saturday players. Like,
yes, yeah.
why? I know why a lot of teams do it. A lot of players do it. Players that are a certain level of Saturday football, where they sort of know their level, they're decent, but they're not necessarily going to be a pro, and they can go and win loads of things. The Essex Cup, and like you guys have done it. You know, like these still really good tournaments to win, but they're maybe a little bit more achievable for them than say the FA Vase or the FA Trophy. And
yeah.
but yeah, it's like SC Dons. Why don't they go Saturday? And I know why they haven't yet. I guess it's because they want to like own their thing, and I respect it. And like they'll have loads of success. I just think they want to find out how good you could be. That's why I'm like, when hashtag made the move from not being just me playing and my mates to being as good as we can be. I don't want to put a cap on it. Like, will we be in the Premier League one day? No one can tell me we can't be, because I'm saying that it's hard, obviously very hard, but there is that mobility there. Like, it's possible.
There's a pathway. There's a ladder.
You can't do it on Sunday.
It's absolutely possible. Yeah. I think the other thing I've seen, and I've watched a lot of podcasts, and I've spoke to Drew a lot from SC Dons. I think the main thing for them is I don't think they're all mates and they've met through this, but I think a lot of the players that play on these Saturdays, they just want to express themselves on a Sunday and enjoy the football, because I think there's another side to it as well, that caliber of player doesn't necessarily enjoy Saturday football as much as the freedom of Sundays. They can sort of be a little bit more themselves and express themselves a little bit more. Whereas if they're being paid to play on a Saturday and they do some of the things they do on a Sunday, it might not be pulled, like they might not be able to pull it off, but B, they might get a rollicking, you know.
Yeah, I do respect that.
I can see why they want to do that as well. There's two sides to it, but SC Dons, I mean, they're a little beast in themselves. But I think you've seen the comments, I'm sure. But would you ever entertain a game, even if it's just a pre-season friendly?
So the honest thing is this: obviously, I could choose to do it this way, right? But it's actually not my choice. Like the way it works with our team now is he's been our first team manager's choice. Like, he arranges the fixtures, the friendlies, and whatnot. And it's been talked about. I think the main concern, I say concern, not concern, but the main like reason, I guess, it hasn't happened is what day we playing them on.
Yeah.
If we play them on a Saturday, they ain't going to have half their players.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, these guys, we have played against SC Dons players. We have played against them already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, in Saturday football. So, if we play them on a Sunday, they're going to have a Saturday all-star team, you know, and their guys. And they're a very good side. There's no, like, getting away from that. They're a good side. If they play, I think they should play Saturday football. If they played Saturday football, they'd do well if they could keep that same group together, but they'd have to pay them. Like we have to do with our players. It's almost like a lose-lose for us. And I know all about lose-loses. I've had plenty of them, right? Like, you know, it's... Of course, some of me wants to see the game happen, like the lineup, like, oh, who would win? You know, I'm going to back our guys all day. I'll never say I don't think we'd win, but there's definitely an argument to say they could beat us. They've got some good players. It's not about that for me. Like, we have our own goals now, which are actual, you know, established cup competitions and our league and promotion. So, like, it's not that I don't want to do it. It would have to be a friendly, obviously, unless they were in competition we're in. And
but would it be played in the essence of a friendly though?
That's the other thing. I'll be honest. From our perspective, I don't know how much our guys would care about that. Like, I know that we could say to them, "Oh, guys, it's a really big game," and some of our guys do watch a lot of YouTube, so they might know all about it. Some of them would not really see it as a big game, whereas I know SC Dons would be like, this is a big moment. And I respect that. I'd be the same if I was them. So I don't know what, apart from giving people what they want, which I always like to do if we can, I don't know what, I think there's a lot of things that could go wrong. I think I respect like the kind of atmosphere the SC Dons guys create around their games and the whole, is it the longest 90 and all that sort of stuff they say. I do respect it a lot. It's like, do I want to subject my team to that if the best thing we're going to get out of it is people saying, well, you should win anyway, you're a Saturday team. It's the best thing we can get from it. Whereas, I'm not being funny, and I don't think they do it intentionally, but it's easier. We lost our club captain for 2 seasons because of a game we did, hashtag first team versus hashtag originals as a friendly. I played in it.
Right, okay.
We did the first team, like the current first team, against the originals. It was like fun, friendly for the audience.
Who did you kick up in the air? Go on.
No, it was Jack Harrison, who's our club captain, who scored a goal against your boys. Sorry to mention it.
Yeah, you don't have to mention that.
But he's been around a while, is what I'm saying. He's been there since the beginning. He's one of the few people that are still going. He did his ACL in a game playing for the OGs against the first team in like an innocuous challenge. And he's been out for 18 months and he's no sign of a soon return. So it's like, why would I? And that was against ourselves, an inter-club friendly. The most friendly situation you can create. So do I want to put my boys, like, I'm not being funny, even if we beat SC Dons 10-0, which we wouldn't, if I lose one of my guys for 2 fixtures, it's not worth it for me.
It's a bigger deal, yeah. No, I hear you.
That's what it is. It's not that we're scared, but it's also that we're not bothered. And I mean that in the nicest way. I respect them. Yeah. I do respect SC Dons, but I would rather beat Sawbridgeworth on a Saturday and get 3 points in the league we're trying to win.
Well, that's what's more important because you've got that pathway, whereas SC Dons to a certain degree, and no disrespect to them, not just a YouTube team, as like people. That YouTube team thing, it puts a lot of these guys down, doesn't it? They've got a thing going, but ultimately the Sunday League scene, for them, it would just be a friendly. But I think it would mean a lot more. Whereas you guys, as you say, it's.
I'd love it if they go down a different route and we had a draw against them in a cup. Like that would be epic. Do you know what I mean? That'd be such a cool game.